Well, hello everybody. Welcome to my photography channel. Today I'm going to go to Dallas downtown. It's middle of November. We have a beautiful weather. It's about 72 degrees Fahrenheit, and for Celsius folks it's about 23 degrees. It's sunny. It's beautiful. There's a little bit of cloud in the sky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself 1 hour to photograph as much as I can, and I'm taking only one camera with me with one lens just to keep it light, and the lens that I'm using is going to be a 35 millimeter, and I will have a GoPro on top of my camera. That way you get to see what I get to see. And as I'm walking through, whenever I take a picture, whatever is interesting to me, what are the thoughts that are going through my head before I take that picture, I'm going to share that with you. If I'm looking at composition, color, texture, any interesting subject, something that's odd, something that's beautiful, everything that is going through my head, I'll try to share as best as I can so that you get an idea before I take a picture what I think about. All right, let's do this. Dallas downtown has changed a lot over the last 30 years. It is a beautiful place now with lots of beautiful buildings, astonishing architecture. So if you're a person who likes to take pictures of buildings, Dallas is the place. It's much more cleaner now, more family friendly. 20 years ago, if I was to go to downtown Dallas, I would think twice. But now, it's much more safer. The ambience is much nicer. The name Dallas is pretty popular. I think it all started in the early 80s when they released the TV series called Dallas. And at the beginning of the Dallas TV show, they would show the Dallas downtown from the start with the music, catchy music in the background. And the show was pretty popular, and I think it was seen all over the world. So it was an international phenomena. So the name Dallas is pretty well renowned. Also, from a infamous perspective, as you know, JFK was also assassinated in Dallas downtown. So it's got a negative connotation as well. Look at those buildings. They're just magnificent. The best way to take pictures of the buildings is you wanna show up maybe a few hours before sunset. You don't wanna be there when the sun is right above your head because the light would be too harsh. But a few hours before the sunset, when the sun is kind of hitting you from the west side, the light creates a wonderful shadow and you get a nice contrast, and the pictures come out really good. You wanna find a parking spot. There are lots of parking areas in this downtown area. You can park on the street, or you can find a parking lot that allows short parkings, and basically walk about. Look up, look around, walk, enjoy your walk, and take pictures. Few things I want to keep in mind while taking pictures is what I'm looking for is a good composition for the buildings. What that means is I'm looking for shadows and highlights to create a good contrast. I'm looking for patterns. leading lines, vanishing lines, symmetry, shapes. And it doesn't have to be buildings all the time. If I see an interesting character, a person, a car, or a sign, anything that would pique my interest, I would want to capture that. This place is called the Main Street Garden. We just found a parking spot on the street. I think it's a few bucks per hour. Since we're gonna be here for an hour to hour and a half, it should be good. I am already seeing lots of beautiful buildings that I want to capture in my frame. Look at this building on your right side, UNT Dallas Law Center. Beautiful windows, beautiful columns. It's got a concretey color on the exterior. Today my son is accompanying with me. He's here to meet up with his friends to do a high school project. They're doing some sort of video shoot. So he's gonna be meeting up with his friend and spend an hour with them, which will give me 1 good hour to do photography. Yellow bus, I love it. Gotta take a picture. Here you can see my son's reflection on the mirror. Sometimes you have to be very quick to take a picture. If you wait too long, the moment will be gone and you will miss the opportunity. Some of the buildings in downtown Dallas are over 100 years old.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Nice to see you.
Alright, should we go set up the cameras?
Looks like my son has found his classmate. On the left side, you can see there's a festival going on at the garden. You can hear the music blasting through. Lots of people. No wonder we had a hard time parking. Anytime there is trees on both sides of a path and people are walking, I feel like taking a picture. You can see the sunlight is kind of seeping through those tree leaves and branches, creating flares, which is wonderful photography. Look at that tall building with blue glass. Let's take another picture.
You don't have to stick with us, Dad.
Well, I need to know where you guys are. Then I'll split or whatever. But
Yeah.
I gotta know where you guys are. Where are we going? So it's not gonna be at the park?
No.
We're
We're trying to get like city scenes.
Citizens.
Yeah, busy areas, making fun. I'll finally get to show you the camera setup I was telling you about.
Oh, okay.
You will hear a beeping sound, which is my camera is trying to focus when I press the shutter halfway. And then you'll hear the click sound, that is the actual shutter going off, taking the picture. Look at this beautiful building. So much intricate lines, shadows on the left, light to the right, creating a nice contrasty vibe.
Ours is like spot on. There's a camera. It's like,
Yeah.
I just bought it for like 2 hours or like $3 or something.
There's just no parking lot, and then Red Bull just pay to park.
Yeah.
So I had to ask somebody.
Okay. Where's the rest of the crew?
On their way.
On their way.
All right, my son is off to his project, and I have about an hour to walk around these places and take pictures. I already saw so many nice buildings that I want to take pictures of. Here's something interesting. I see this lady on the left side wearing a magenta t-shirt, and she is about to cross the road, looks like, which has a magenta pavement. And then at the very back, there is a restaurant called Wild Salsa that has a neon sign, which is also magenta. Let's take a picture, see if we can capture all three colors together. There you go. Sometimes you have to time the pictures right. We are at the intersection of St. Paul and Main, and I see this building called the Statler. And I look to my right, I see this another building that has a clock tower right behind it. This looks pretty nice composition. Let's take a picture. Here's an interesting door. Take a look at the spelling of restaurant, Ristorante. I think it means a place where it sells food in Italian. Alright, I think I'm gonna go ahead and cross the road and go on the other side. But before I do that, let's look up and see if I see something interesting. And I do see a wonderful pattern with circles. Sometime when you're in a downtown area and there are lots of tall buildings, every now and then you have to look up and see if you're missing something interesting that is not usually visible because you're always paying attention to the road and your surroundings. Ooh, e-bike. There are lots of e-bikes in downtown, and you have to be careful because they whiz by you very quickly. I want to take a picture of this old building. Look at those windows. Alright, so I'm gonna position myself a little bit away from the building and right in the middle so I can get a nice symmetry. See how you have the shadows to your left and the light to your right, creating a nice contrast. Here's an interesting person. Let's go ahead and cross the road and be on the other side of Main Street. Whenever I'm crossing the road, I quickly look to my right or left to see if I see something. And here I see a fancy car. This would be an example of vanishing line, where everything is focusing right in the dead center. Let me take a picture of this old building. Since I'm at the corner, I have the whole building in my frame. I saw something interesting. The door of this restaurant called Wild Salsa has intricate design on the wooden door. I need to capture that. Let's get a little closer. Beautiful. Look, an outside light that is not LED but gas lit. And I have 2-3 of them in a row, which means I created a pattern. Or let's just say I captured the pattern. I did not create it, it was already there. Looks like he also found this building to be interesting as well. Let's get a corner shot. There's something interesting on that wall. Let's go take a closer look. What does it say? Continental building. It's got a picture with some statues. Nice. Main Street Garden. Let's go and take a look what's happening. Wait, let's go back a little bit. I think I saw some nice patterns on the staircase which I would want to take. Nothing fancy, but I thought I'd capture it anyway. Take a look at all those people that are sitting on the table, looking at their phones, totally submerged. They're at the festival, but not at the festival at the same time. We got people selling bags, stuffed toys, jewelries, Tupperwares, paintings. Hey, I think I just saw Hello Kitty. Alright, that yellow sign looks very interesting. It's got this dark yellow and orange mixed. Yep, that's a good composition. Let's take a picture. I like that clock tower too. Looks like I'm not the only one taking pictures. You know, from this angle, the UNT Dallas Law Center looks pretty nice. Such a beautiful building. So many details. A building is just not a building, it's also a form of art. Here you go, vanishing line. One more picture from the corner. A yellow bus, gotta take that one. No matter how many times I see a yellow bus, I always want to take a picture. You know, I see a nice green dome from here. I wonder what that is. Harwood Park. This is a very nice park, very clean. It's got nice plants, trees, concrete. And I want to take a picture of that dome. And I see this nice plant. So let's do this. Let's take a picture of the dome, but keep the plants in the front as my foreground. Let's see how it comes out. Let's take a few more. I like that. You know, I see some neon butterflies on that wall. Let's take a picture. And the neon butterflies are going on and off. So I bet this place would look really nice at nighttime. Got it. Look at that building all by itself. Nothing surrounding it. Looks like it has its own personality. It's got such a modern architectural vibe to it. I want to take a picture of that building one more time, but let's use this tree's branches as my foreground, giving it a little mystery. Ooh, I see a pattern. And when I see a pattern, I have to take a picture. How cool is that? Ah, the building with the dome, the green dome. Looks like it's a church. Let's get closer. See how the sun is coming through those branches, creating a flare. I like flares. First Presbyterian Church. See, the sun is right behind the building. So you have to be careful not to create a dark image. I see this wonderful couple nicely dressed crossing the road, trying to get to their vehicle. Let's take a picture. I see some giggling. I hear some giggling. I see these two young...
Can I take a picture? You guys are awesome. It's the best thing I've seen so far.
You got it. You got it. Wait, I need to move your hand up. Oh. Go.
See, I'm a portrait photographer mostly, so whenever I see people having fun, laughing, I can't help not to go over there and start taking pictures. These two young ladies were taking pictures of each other, being goofy. I was hoping she wouldn't fall. That would be awkward.
I'm scared, Rich. What do I do now?
See, you don't want to miss an opportunity to take pictures, because if you don't, you just missed the opportunity that was given to you.
Yeah, bye-bye. Did you get good pictures?
Oh, I think that's gonna come good. Did it come good?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, because the light is coming from that angle, and everything was perfect.
There's nothing sadder than missing an opportunity and regretting it later. Alright, now let's go ahead and take a closer look at this building and this wonderful door. Let's see what's happening here. God is love. Ooh, I like that. A bird. I think I got the bird. Let's start heading back towards the garden. Interesting sky. As I was walking, I saw this very fancy restaurant to my left with big glass windows. And as I peeked through the windows, I saw tables with candles and chandeliers, very upscale. I took a picture having the reflection of the building that we just saw a few minutes ago in the same frame. Vanishing point. All right, back to the garden. I like that clock tower. Do you see there are birds in the sky? Those are nice yellow flowers. I hear this lady screaming and singing at the top of her voice. See, there's never a dull moment in downtown. She's got a sign that says, Jesus Christ saves from hell. Very interesting. See, it doesn't have to be buildings all the time. A very nice entrance. Look at that majestic doors with those columns on both sides. See, I'm always like looking left, looking right, scanning everything to see what is interesting, what is fun. And since this is a beautiful door with lots of leading lines, symmetry, color, look at the color. You have the dark brown versus the light. Here is an old building, probably 100 years old, and there's a new building right behind it. Two different era. Here's 3 buildings. One is probably over 100 years old, one is few years, and the other one is just being built. Municipal building, glass, iron, concrete, very classic. Oh, I like that. You have the sun to your left, crazy looking sky. I saw these 2 couple right past me. I want to keep them in the center and take a picture where they are the main focus of the frame. I saw this very scary looking, boxy, ugly, brown building. Therefore, I have to take a picture. I see 2 mangled cars in the parking lot. They were probably involved in some sort of really bad accident. Let me get closer. Yellow bus. Ooh, I like that. So much blue. Pearl Street. You know, one thing is whenever you go to downtown, you always hear this siren wailing every 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and cross the road. You know, it looks like I am not looking to my right or left when I'm crossing the road, but that's not the case. My camera happens to stay in the front side, but my head is turning left and right, making sure there's no incoming traffic. Ooh, I see this interesting poster on the wall. East Quarter. Let's get closer. I see Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders to the right and some Longhorn on the left. You know, it's the same picture of the same area. It's such a nice neighborhood. You have the old buildings still intact, and then you have the new buildings that are made out of iron, concrete, glass to your right. And it's just a mix of past versus present. E-bike and his lady friend. Well, gotta take a picture of that. Now that's a good composition, right? Grandma, mom, and the baby. 3 generations together, I think. Here are 2 very, very old buildings next to each other with very different color contrast, like 2 siblings standing next to each other for decades, seeing everything being built around them. This building's color has that pyramidish look. Not quite sandy, but a different tone. I see this interesting couple about to cross the road. She's all dressed up with her boots, her bag, scarf, ponytailed. You have to take a picture. Anytime you see somebody interesting that stands out, you have to take a picture. I see the clock tower. Here I have the sign with the building in the back out of focus. Trolley tour. My hour is almost up. I had a good time walking around. The weather was just phenomenal. I got to meet people, talk to people, see interesting things, find a lot of different patterns, colors, compositions. If you get a chance, you should go out, take your camera, take pictures. It's definitely a lot of fun. I hope you liked the pictures that I took today, and I hope you liked staying with me throughout the walkabout. Hopefully we get to meet soon in my next video. I'll have to come to Dallas downtown again, but maybe I'll do it during nighttime. Let's see what kind of vibe I get. Take care.